Hi friends, I am Jaishankar and I would like to present before you a small session on Preamble of the Constitution of India. So it will be useful for you for competitive exams like UPSC, SSC as well as state PSCs, and more importantly for your general awareness as a citizen of this country. So here is the contact details of Learnsarvah. Please feel free to contact us. So what are the objectives of this presentation? So first of all, we will understand the historical aspects of the preamble. Secondly, I will give you a word-by-word analysis of the preamble, and finally, we will conclude with the understanding of significance of the preamble. So let's go to the historical aspects first. So first aspect is that the concept of preamble is borrowed from American Constitution. In other words, American Constitution is the very first constitution that has the concept of preamble. Secondly, the Preamble of Indian Constitution is based on objectives resolution that has been passed by Pandit Nehru in the Constituent Assembly. So, in the beginning of the Constituent Assembly, Jawaharlal Nehru has passed an objectives resolution which has details about the objectives that has to be achieved by the Constituent Assembly. So, after the end of the Constituent Assembly or after the end of framing the Constitution, the Assembly decided to use this objectives resolution as the preamble of a constitution. So what does preamble means? It is nothing but a preface or an introduction to the constitution. Now let's read the text of the preamble. So, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economical and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. So, this particular text of preamble has mainly four important information. The first one is regarding the source of authority of the Constitution, that is people of India. Second one is regarding the nature of Indian state, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Third one is regarding the values or virtues that will be provided by the state to its citizens. And finally, the fourth one is regarding the date of adoption of Indian Constitution. So let's go into each of these information in detail. First one is regarding the source of authority of the Constitution. So let's ask ourselves a question that from where does the Constitution derive its authority from? In other words, who gave the Constituent Assembly the authority to make the Constitution? Preamble has the answer for you. It says people of India. People of India has authorized the Constituent Assembly to frame the Constitution. In other words, Constitution derives its authority from people of India. That's why we have the phrase, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, so on and so forth. Now, second one is regarding the nature of Indian state or Indian polity. The preamble describes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Let us understand each of these terms in detail. First one is regarding sovereignty. So what does the word sovereign India mean? Nothing but India is an independent state. So if we are looking into the pre-independent history of India, we know that all the affairs of India, both internal as well as external affairs, was taken by British Parliament. For example, the decision that India is joining the World War II or World War I was taken by British Parliament. So India was not sovereign then. But after freedom or after independence, India has become freedom and India can decide both its internal as well as external matters. So India is free to conduct its affairs, both internal as well as external. That's the real meaning of sovereignty. Second one is regarding socialist. So the term socialism means nothing but state ownership of means of production. So all the means of production, that is land, labor, capital, all those things, everything will be owned by the state. So this particular term was not there in the original constitution or the original preamble. It was an addition and it was added through amendment of the constitution. That was a 42nd amendment of 1976 by Indira Gandhi. So the Indian socialism is much different. So the socialism which is followed by India is different from Western or the so-called communist socialism. So India follows democratic socialism, which upholds the faith in mixed economy. So India follows democratic socialism, which has both elements of socialism and capitalism. Second one is regarding secular. Sovereign, socialist, secular. Third one. So the term secular was also added along with the term socialist. That was through 42nd Amendment. So this is also an addition. The original constitution did not have the term secular. So secularism means separation of state from religion. Separation of state from religion. So there is this particular term secularism is nowhere else mentioned in the constitution. Only preamble has a mention of the word secularism. So Indian secularism is much different from Western secularism. So we know that secularism is a Western concept. But the way secularism is practiced in India and in Western countries is much different. So we are having a positive concept of secularism in India. What does that mean? Every religion gets equal status and support from the state. The state is not avoiding religion, or the state is not saying silent at the religion, but it is supporting the religion. State is involving the religion, that involvement will be equal. So let us compare the Western secularism with Indian form of secularism. So if you are looking at Western secularism, this Western secularism is blind, as it's visible here. Western secularism is blind towards religion. So it cannot see the religion. So this particular blindness will be different. For example, France is the best example for strict separation between state and religion. In other words, in our own words, France is more blind towards religion. So certain other countries of Europe like UK and all are comparatively less strict as far as secularism is concerned. The separation between state and religion is less strict in UK compared to France. So second, if you are looking at Indian secularism, you can see that it is not blind here. They are having wide eyes towards the religion, and Indian secularism or India follows a concept of principled distance. You know that the distance between the state and religion is not different here. You can understand that. The distance is different. So it is having a different distance, or the state is staying. So if you consider this particular boy as a state, it is staying at a different distance from all these religions. And this particular concept is called principled distance. So this distance is not arbitrary. It is based on a principle. For example, if you are considering Article 29 and Article 30 of the Constitution of India, it provides, or it is for minority rights. It provides minorities certain constitutional rights or certain fundamental rights. So that particular provision is based on the principle that minorities should receive certain concessions, or minorities are in a position because of their less numerical number, so that they should receive certain state support. So we are having provisions for them in the form of Article 29 and Article 30. So that's about Indian secularism and principled distance. The fourth point, that one is regarding democracy. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic. So India is a democratic country. We know that very well. India follows a parliamentary form of democracy. There is enough. And now regarding republic. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So what does the word republic means? It's nothing but India has an elected head. So any country that's having an elected head can be called as republic. So we are having an elected head of the state. It's called the President of India. Here is our President, Ramnath Kovind. So if you are considering another example, that is Britain. Britain is not a republic. Britain is just a monarch. So the head of the state of Britain is the Queen of Britain, and the Queen is a hereditary head. That is not an elected head. So we call Britain a monarch, and if you are considering India, you are having the head of the state as an elected one. So you call India a republic. Now the third one is regarding what does the state ensure to citizens. So the state ensures justice, liberty, equality, and it also ensures fraternity. Let's go into each of these terms in detail. The first one is regarding justice. The state will provide you social justice. The state will provide you economic justice. The state will provide you with political justice also. So now, what does that mean? What does social justice mean? Social justice means the state will treat you equally, irrespective of social status. So the state will not consider caste, creed, all those things. It will treat you equally. So equal social treatment gives you equal social justice. So what does it mean by economic justice? Economic justice means there is no discrimination in the country on economic terms. And finally, what does political justice mean? Political justice involves equal political rights, equal access to all government offices, and finally equal voice in government. So that's regarding political justice. So these concepts of justice were taken from Russian Revolution. Now let's go to the term liberty. The state provides you with the liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. So you are having the liberty to do all these things in the country. So you can have thought, you can express things, you can have belief, you can have faith, you can have worship. So this is clearly mentioned, or this is described well in the fundamental rights section of the Constitution. So for example, Article 19 to Article 22 of the Constitution has concepts of freedom or liberty in it, and also Article 25 and Article 28. Article 25 to Article 28 has details regarding the liberty of belief, faith, worship, etc. In other words, the right to have religion is mentioned from Article 25 to Article 28. So it means that the state will provide you with the liberty to have all those things. And finally, you are having equality. So you will be having equality of status. So equal status will be provided to all. And finally, you will have equal opportunity. So to attain success, you will be having equal opportunity. So the concept of equality is given in the Constitution in the form of fundamental rights from Article 14 to Article 18. So the term integrity, the fraternity, and finally you are having fraternity. The state will be providing you justice, liberty, equality, and finally you are having fraternity too. So fraternity means nothing but brotherhood. So preamble says that the state shall promote fraternity, which will ensure dignity of individual as well as unity and integrity of the nation. So fraternity is for ensuring the dignity of the individual, and finally it will ensure unity and integrity of the nation. So the term integrity is also an addition. So this integrity is also an extra addition that was added during the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution. So we have already mentioned that the term socialism or the term socialist, the term secular was also added during the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution. And finally you are having another addition to that, that is integrity. So these three additions, socialist, secular, and integrity, belongs to the 42nd Amendment. And finally, liberty, equality, and fraternity, the terms which we had already understood, is taken from French Revolution. So these are ideals or ideologies given by the French Revolution to our Constitution: liberty, equality, and fraternity. And finally, the fourth and the last important information in the preamble, that is regarding the date of adoption of the Constitution, that is 26 November 1949. So the Constitution was adopted, enacted, and given to ourselves on 26 November 1949. Please note that it is different from the date of coming into existence of our Constitution. Our Constitution came into existence on 26 January 1950. So that is celebrated by us as our Republic Day. So the date of adoption is different from the date of coming into existence. So date of adoption is nothing but 26 November 1949. So finally, this is the significance of the preamble. So what is the importance of preamble, or why do we have the preamble? So if you look into the words of K.M. Munshi, who was a member of the Constituent Assembly, he says that preamble is the horoscope of our Constitution. So what does horoscope mean? Nothing but overall picture of the Constitution. The preamble gives you overall picture of your Constitution, overall nature of the Constitution. That's why he called it as horoscope. Second one is given by Pandit Thakurdas Bhargava. He was also a member of Constituent Assembly, and he says that preamble is the soul of the Constitution. So what does he mean by that? Nothing but preamble is the essence of the Constitution. So preamble is the essence of the Constitution. You are having the best thing in the Constitution in the form of a preamble. Third one is the quote of Ernest Barker. He was a political scientist of UK. So he says that preamble is the keynote to the Constitution. It gives you an entrance to the Constitution. Now let's conclude by looking at few more other features of the Constitution. The first one is regarding the amendability of the Constitution. Amendability of the preamble. So we know that Constitution can be amended. In the similar manner, we can amend the preamble also. Using Article 368, we can amend the preamble also. So, preamble is amendable. Second one is regarding whether it is a part of the constitution or not. Whether the preamble is a part of the constitution or it is a separate part. So, the Supreme Court in the Keshavananda Bharati case has said that preamble is the part of the constitution. And finally, preamble is non-justiciable. You cannot go to the court by saying that preamble has been violated or preamble is not being implemented. So you cannot approach the court. That's why we call it non-justiciable. So thanks for watching us.